welcome to the Bari Connected live event, webinar, and podcast where we support the bariatric community with education and support on all kinds of topics related to bariatric surgery. So my name is Brenda and I'm your host. Thank you for being here today. We have Connie Stapleton joining us. I just love Connie. Connie, I don't even know when we first met, but I feel like that we've kind of like been at so many events now together. And we've
so true.
Just kind of have developed a relationship, and she's so gracious because she is going to be talking about yoga. Connie's background is, well, first of all, she did complete both two different training certifications, which I'm going to let you talk more on that and what that means. She also started practicing yoga 10 years ago and has been teaching for a couple years. She's, I find it very interesting because she has a Ph.D. in psychology and literally has seen thousands and thousands and thousands of bariatric surgery patients. So she's well versed. She's also been on the TLC shows, which I find so interesting. Too Large, Family by the Ton, 1,000-Pound Sisters, Thriving, Triumph Over Trauma is her new book, and MindPrep. I don't know, Connie, you've helped with so many different things. Obesity Help, I know you've partnered and spoke at events there. I've been at many other places where you spoke, as well as these different kind of bariatric conferences. I'm going to be kind of just turning the cue over to you, but I do want to say today's event, Connie has spent so much prep work and time. We have all kinds of great stuff here for you. Connie's going to be kind of sharing, what benefits of yoga is, how to incorporate it into your normal routine, even if it's in just little small parts. We have 3 pre-recorded yoga sessions, which Connie, we're going to be sharing links to. And then Connie also has some exercises we're going to be doing during this segment. So Connie, at that, I'm going to just kind of turn things over to you here for a moment, let you do your introductions. I'm going to put myself on mute and I'm going to go onto our Facebook page because we're going live there too. If you're joining us, tell us where in the chat box, tell us where you're from, if you're pre-op, post-op, if you've done yoga, all of that good stuff while Connie's talking. Okay, Connie.
Okay. I don't remember where we met either, but it's been a long time because you and I have both worked in this community for a long time. And I mean, I'm in my 19th year, I think, in bariatrics. And I started doing pre-surgical evaluations many, many years ago. And over the years, I've become very active, speaking at different events and met a lot of people. And you're just probably the easiest person to talk to. And it's always a comfort to me to see you at events because, believe it or not, nobody believes this, but I'm kind of shy. I can do the public speaking thing and I love it so much. But one-on-one, I'm a little bit shy. But the yoga piece came in a couple of years ago because I started a program called BariAftercare. And it's designed to help patients with their entire aftercare program. So much of a patient's time is spent getting ready for surgery. But after the surgery, people are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. After that honeymoon period, it's like, ooh, this is a little harder than I anticipated. Well, I know a lot of people don't like exercise and a lot of people haven't been very active prior to having surgery. And I have long done yoga. And how I refer to yoga for myself is my beloved yoga because it helps me so much more with my mind, but also with my body. And what I have found as I've gotten older, and I do retreats for bariatric patients at my house, is it's so odd because people will say to me, have you always had such good posture? And I'm like, I honestly think that's a yoga thing. And then when I bend over and I reach for things, I find myself using some of the postures from yoga so I don't hurt my back. So yoga is good for so many things. And why I love it for bariatric patients is because it will help with flexibility. Now, there's all levels of yoga, right? I am not a power yoga gal, never have been. I've tried different kinds of yoga, love heated yoga, thought I would hate it. Tried power yoga, thought I might like it, hate it. What I like about yoga is the slow movement, breath. Yoga means yoke. So we're using our body and our breath all at the same time. It's a mind body connection for real. So at the age of 60, I decided I would do yoga training to become a teacher so that I could share yoga with bariatric patients who may be interested. So a lot of people start out with chair yoga because maybe they're not used to moving a lot. Maybe it hurts a lot and maybe they're not ready to do more. And then some people move on to floor yoga. So let me tell you some. Break in anytime, Brenda, because I'll just blah, 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 blah.
Keep going. I love it.
Let me tell you some of the amazing benefits of yoga as a post-op. As a post-op, it helps redevelop in your body some flexibility. So maybe you've been inactive for a long time, and it's going to hurt if you start out trying to run a marathon, right? Please don't do that. But if you learn to stretch your body, which has been tight for a long time, it can become more flexible. That's going to make it easier for you to do daily tasks of living, right? Like reach things up from your counter, like bend over to tie your shoes without your back really hurting, like activities of daily life. And motion is lotion, right? So when we move our body and our joints, it makes them more flexible and gives you more movement. So you can gain flexibility in your backs, your shoulders, your hips, strength. Now, I don't personally do yoga to develop a lot of strength, but it can help develop strength because sometimes you'll stand on one leg. You may be holding onto a desk or a chair, but you're developing some strength. And as you know, when you lose weight after surgery, not only do you lose fat, but you lose muscle. So you want to hang on to that muscle. So a little bit of strength can help. And a lot of poses do help you with strength. Muscle tone, absolutely critical. And in yoga, what's beautiful is you're using your own body's weight to help you strengthen and develop those muscles. So there's a lot of that going on. And here's something you're going to be very excited about. Yoga is a wonderful way to decrease pain and help with pain prevention. Because if you're more flexible, if you have some strength, it can help prevent some causes of especially back pain. And a lot of our patients have a lot of back pain already, or we're hunched over at a computer or we're hunched over driving our car. So we want to open ourselves up, which can help with shoulder pain, back pain, helps improve alignment. And that is just an amazing thing. And makes breathing easier because, again, we don't pay too much attention to how we breathe because our lungs know how to do that. But a lot of us breathe very shallowly into our lungs. And in yoga, we learn to deep breathe. So it fills our lungs more, gets oxygen throughout our body more, can help with nasal passage clearance, helps with the central nervous system. It's just good all the way around. And then one of my absolute favorite things, just a few more points here, is that what I love about yoga is it calms down my mind. Because we're busy people. We all have very, very busy lives. And sometimes we get very locked into, there's a lot to do as a post-op. You got to take the vitamins and you got to drink the water and you got to make sure you got this many grams of protein and you got all these things and you get a few minutes of quiet time can calm down your body and your mind. This helps with stress reduction. This helps with blood pressure. This can help with making better decisions. When you're all drawn up in your head and your head is spinning a little bit, and maybe you're in a situation where emotional eating is a possibility. If you're calmer and you're breathing better and you've got more oxygen through your body, you have the ability literally to make healthier and better decisions. So the mental calmness, the stress reduction is absolutely beautiful. For my exercise, I walk. I walk 3 miles most days of the week with my dog. But for my mental clarity, I do yoga. And I may do it 15 minutes, I may do it 30 minutes, I may do it 45 minutes. But it really helps bring me down. And here's something really critical for bariatric patients is so many people are and want to be, disengaged from their body. We need to reconnect with our body and build some positive body awareness. There's been so much, negative self-talk in relation to your body. Well, this is what we've got to get us through this particular journey, right? So we've got to befriend it a little more. We've got to quit bashing it, kind of change the self-talk. And over time, you'll get more comfortable in your body. And this can help with posture and self-confidence. So there's so many benefits of yoga. And since I was doing it already, I thought, why not go get a certification so I can build it into my BariAftercare program?
I love that, Connie. There was a couple points that just kind of hit me as you were talking. I know the flexibility and the mobility to do the everyday activities. I mean, sometimes we don't realize how much that makes a difference. And also, I want to say, I think weight loss in itself is kind of a journey into kind of knowing more of ourselves. And as we kind of start that process, I feel like finding a way to kind of calm your mind, calm your nervous system, all of that. There's nothing better than finding ways. And I feel like the good thing is there's meditation. I feel like yoga incorporates that in. And what happens is you not only have the meditation, but you have the movement with it as well, which helps release a lot of that extra tension. There are some comments, Connie, I want to kind of bring in. It looks like Kim says, how does yoga different from Pilates? I want to answer that first. And then we're also going to kind of get into some of these others in the chat.
So I've not really done too much Pilates, but my understanding of Pilates is it's more focused on specific muscle groups and some repetition, very small movements. So it's really good for building muscle tone and developing specific areas, as opposed to yoga, which we don't specifically focus on a muscle. You'll hear the teachers talking about, stretching through your hip flexors and opening. So it's more about joints and openness and flexibility than it is about building a specific muscle set, but both are great.
Yeah. And it looks like we have just some comments. It looks like we have Susan from Omaha. She says, hello, everyone, pre-op. Kim says, hello from Denver. I've done yoga once, but older I get, I'm interested in it. And I completely agree. I think we're always looking for things that kind of help us along our journey. Casey says, I live in Washington State. I'm 2 years post-op and do yoga almost every day. It's great for mind, body, and spirit. Connie's clapping at you. Laura says, Lincoln, Nebraska, post-op bariatric surgery, March 16th. Oh, early on. We just a couple months out. Kim says, oh, and I'm 2.5 years post-op. So, no matter how far you are, even pre-op, pre-op. This class is for anyone at any stage. Lisa says, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. I did yoga years ago and felt better both mentally and physically. I'm interested in starting now, but nervous because I'm out of shape. Before I go on, do you want to say anything about that?
Absolutely. First of all, hello, all my Midwestern friends, because I'm from Iowa and I have relatives in Omaha, actually. And so I just say hello. I miss my home territory sometimes. You do not have to be in shape to do yoga because it is a good teacher is always going to give you options and give you ways to make it more comfortable for where you are in your body. And you can always start with chair yoga, which is safe and very effective. And you just do what's comfortable for you. So you don't have to be in shape.
Okay. And then I also have Howdy from Austin, Texas. I'm 4.5 years Roux Y post-op. I've never practiced yoga, but I've always wanted to. I get my exercise walking and hiking, but I've pretty much stopped that because I lost my husband in February and had been extremely depressed. So I'm so sorry. And Connie, I know your background is in mental health. So is there anything that you can say both with all of that.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. And I am a pretty hardcore, don't give me excuses, but in your case, I totally understand. So, just breathing and getting through one day at a time, you're doing a great job. As you're ready to let other people in and you're ready to do something, when you feel like you've got the physical energy, I would definitely get involved in doing something. If you don't feel like leaving your house, do some online videos with yoga. I hope you will get back to your hiking and your walking because outdoors is such great healing. But my heart goes out to you. That is got to be the absolute worst. So I'm impressed that you're even here.
That's a first step. I mean, like just being around other people to me sometimes can be like when you're sad or you're not feeling so well, sometimes being around other people or doing things that involve other people can be helpful because you have a little support and it distracts you enough to kind of get your mind off of all of that too. So, and it looks like we have I'm going to there's three more. I'm going to say these fairly quickly to let Connie start sharing. But Serena says, I have full shirts. I hope I'm pronouncing this name because I'm only getting parts of the names here. I had a full shoulder replacement in May of 2021. I still, and from what the PT and the doctor said, I will never have full range of motion. I still have a lot of pain. How do I do yoga with that?
You be very mindful. And in yoga, what we're looking for is sensation, meaning I want to feel it, but I don't want to have any pain. So if you're never going to have full range of motion again, then you be respectful of the motion that you do have. So if some people are like, woo, we're lifting their arm way high and you're lifting your arm like 4 inches, then that is where you stop. The minute you feel pain in yoga, you back off. And there, you have to know the difference between pain and sensation. But most of us, if you're going, ow, that's pain. If you feel like, ooh, that's stretching, that is sensation. So avoid pain. And when you have replacements in the hips and the shoulders and the knees, what you want to do is strengthen the muscles that are around those joints.
Wonderful. And it looks like Julie says surgery Friday. Oh, from Omaha. That's so exciting. It gives me chills. Just know that you're on the verge of something very new. Want to do yoga. How soon is it safe to do it after surgery?
I would say if you do chair yoga, as soon as you feel like you have the energy. And again, because in chair yoga, there's a little bit of core, but if you're finding yourself bending over and you're feeling pain, just don't do those motions. But if you can, safely move your shoulders or your neck without pain, do what you're able to. A lot of the issue with early post-op is you're weak. Your body's just gone through a major thing. So you've got to respect it and trust it and know when it's ready. Make sure you hydrate because that's the biggest problem immediately after post-op. So try the chair yoga as soon as you feel like you can do something and just, again, be respectful of what your body's capable of doing at that point in time.
That's a great answer because you do want to have some movement after surgery. And your doctor can kind of give you specific guidelines, but I would say, trust your body too. And it looks like, I wish I could read the full names here. It looks like maybe Robin. Yoga is stretching and relaxing the muscle. Pilates is about controlling and stretching that muscle while under tension. Pilates instructor. Yay.
Thank you.
Maybe we need to have a Pilates session too. Because I think, I've done a little bit of Pilates. That is almost on machines. I don't know. Can you do Pilates? I guess there's some body work you can do on Pilates without having the machines, but let us know. And Serena says, yes, I pronounced her name. So we're going to take it from there. And I'm just going to kind of turn the tables over to you, Connie, to allow you to share some more about this content, where we're going.
Okay. So, do you have I know we're going to do the demonstration, right? But let me explain some of the stuff about chair yoga versus mat yoga and some of the different kinds of yoga maybe that there are, because people are at various levels of fitness, right? So there's a lot of post-op patients that are probably more flexible and have more stamina than I do. So there are different kinds of yoga. And if you're a very beginner, somebody online to watch is Adriene, Yoga with Adriene. There are also people who are, there's a woman, God, I'm trying to think of her name. But you can look up plus size yoga, because there are a lot of instructors on YouTube, and this is all free. And what I would do is try to find some different kinds of instructors and see who you like. I also have a book called Curvy Yoga, which is great because it has some really great applications for helping you be more comfortable in that, because sometimes there's extra abdominal skin and it kind of gives you suggestions for how to comfortably move that skin out of your way. And if you're uncomfortable, like with extra skin, wear some compression garments while you do this. There's hot yoga. A lot of people say, oh my gosh, I could never do hot yoga. And that's what I thought too. I love hot yoga because it does help you be more flexible. I would start with a slow flow or a beginner's class. There's a lot of great beginners classes online. There's a woman, Yoga with Cassandra, Kassandra, that I really, really like. She's all levels, and they will say on there what level it's for. And you can also look up chair yoga online too. The yoga that I'm doing is part of a BariAftercare program. And one of the ladies that I went through my training with, and she's also 60, she's going to be doing the chair yoga. I'm going to be doing the floor yoga, but that's just part of the BariAftercare program. So BariAftercare is an entire program. We have a chef that does healthy cooking. We have a woman who does movement. We have a licensed marriage and family therapist who does videos with me because relationships change, right? But this yoga component is something that you can do just for you. And I know because I'm a psychologist, I know that it's sometimes hard for people to say, I can't take time just for me. I feel selfish. Let me tell you, the benefits to your family members and friends after you do a meditation or a yoga are plentiful because you're feeling better. And when you're feeling better about you, you are better with the people in your life. I also do a thing I recorded, I think 4 yesterday, called midweek meditation. And this is just a great way to, again, calm that mind, calm that body, and just appreciate a few moments of relaxation. We underestimate to a huge degree how much difference even 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing can make in our lives, not only in our mood and health to our bodies, but also in how we feel about ourselves. Anytime you do something for yourself, which is not something a lot of bariatric people haven't done a lot of, is take time for themselves. You need to celebrate that as a win. Every win is a win. And if you can incorporate, this is a tough one, some positive self-talk into the mix, you're really gonna notch up your health and wellness, because you are a mind-body person. There's all of you, right? So we got to work on the head. We got to work on the body. Those of you who are new to surgery and who are just going into or are recently out of surgery, you have a full-time job just keeping up with what you're doing, right? With all of the instructions for living a healthy post-op life. But as you get further out and those become more of a way of life, it's critical that you incorporate this mind, body, self into your daily life. And I would not wait, because it only takes a few minutes. We're going to do this here in just a few minutes. We're going to do a seated practice that you can do at work. or while you're watching television. Now, full yoga, you don't want to do while you're watching television, but you can do the movements. But full yoga is an integration of connecting the mind and the body, the breathing with the movement. So this is something you can do on the bus. It's something you can do when you're in a meeting, not the full out, but you can do the breathing, which will always help you settle yourself. And you can do some of the movements, even if people aren't even aware that that's what you're doing. You know, there are some leg movements you can do. Just kind of lean over a little bit, and you're working on opening up your hips. So there's a lot of things you can do in a very subtle way to help increase that movement and do that slow breathing, which is a great thing to incorporate into all day, every day. Got any other questions? Comments?
I'm here to see if there's anything too, Connie. I don't see anything. I did just share your link here for your BariAftercare program that Connie was talking about, with having all those different pieces of the mental health, the cooking, the physical activity, just all of those different things that she's incorporated in that program. And I know she's been working on it for some time. Looks completely amazing. Share the link there in both Facebook and here. I'm kind of working behind the scenes because I do have a screen share option, and for whatever reason mine's been disabled, but it's okay. I will share links here. Connie has also produced 3 different videos for this session. There is one video is chair. She actually has a 2-part on chair yoga. Chair yoga part 1, chair yoga part 2, and then she has a mat yoga. I'm going to actually, since I can't screen share, I'm going to actually put the links into the chat box for anybody that wishes to see that, along with our YouTube channel. They're on our ProCare Health YouTube channel. So Connie, while you're talking, I'm going to behind the scenes be doing that so that they'll be able to see that.
Okay, well, let me talk a little bit more about the BariAftercare program and how that came to be. So when I first got into this field, I came into this field through the alcohol and drug arena. I'm a recovering addict. And when I went through treatment at the age of 29, what taught me how to live without my, I had quit drinking pretty much after college, but I was using pain medication inappropriately because I had migraine headaches. Well, that became my way of calming myself down. It's kind of like emotional eating, right? If I'm feeling something and I eat this particular thing, then it helps calm me down. Well, when you have bariatric surgery, if you have emotional eating, or if you have an addiction to sugar or simple carbs or whatever it might happen to be, or just an addiction to eating itself, then when you go through surgery, you're giving up your drug of choice, the thing that you use to help calm you down. And what happens a lot of times is people are left with a whole bunch of emotions that bubble to the surface, and now we don't know what to do with them. So having an aftercare program in place is so critical, because that's where you learn the healthy coping skills instead of using food. That's where you learn how to do relaxation so you can make those healthy choices. That's where you learn the communication skills to set boundaries. No, I'm taking this time for me. No, it's not selfish. Yes, I do need to take care of myself so I can be better present for the rest of my life. So when people have surgery, if they don't have some assistance after the surgery, not just with how to eat healthier, because that's critical too, but research is very, very clear that post-op patients want more information on nutrition, and they want more information about the psychological and emotional aspects of surgery. And I know ProCare works a lot with Dr. Susan Mitchell, who's a registered dietitian. And Dr. Susan Mitchell has a great podcast called Bariatric Surgery Success. And I have a podcast called BariAftercare. Dr. Susan comes on mine and I come on hers, because this is the information people are saying they want. How do I deal with stress after weight loss. When people come to me and they say, I've regained a lot of weight, I ask them, what happened that you quit engaging in the behaviors that you need to do to maintain weight loss? Life happened. Tell me more. Well, my parents got sick. Well, my 3 kids are involved in 3 different kinds of activities, and it's so stressful, and I just didn't have time. And life happens. Well, I just did a series of videos yesterday that will be on Instagram Reels talking about, let me tell you what weight loss surgery does deal with and what it does not deal with. So I did this whole series of like 1 or 2 minute reels. The first one, weight loss surgery does not treat food addiction. Now, I actually wrote a book of that same title because so many people have a food addiction or an eating addiction or an emotional eating component. Surgery doesn't fix that, right? Surgery works on the disease of obesity, not the disease of addiction. So if you're going into surgery and you've got both of those, weight loss surgery is going to treat your weight loss. Addiction is going to be searching for the fix. Food affects the brain very similarly to alcohol, drugs, shopping, cocaine, you name it. If you have an addiction, your brain wants a fix. And it's a dopamine fix. It makes you feel better. Food gives you a dopamine boost. It makes you feel better. Yoga gives you a dopamine boost. Pilates gives you a dopamine boost. Any kind of physical movement will also give you a dopamine boost. But if your only tool has been food, you need to learn some new tools. So weight loss surgery doesn't fix food addiction. Then I did a little video called Weight Loss Surgery Does Not Fix Depression, because I talk to people and they say, well, when I get depressed, I eat. And so I say, well, how do you plan to handle that after surgery? Because surgery doesn't fix depression. And if you eat when you're depressed, what is your plan? Oh, I don't know. Well, we can treat depression, and that's the good news, right? But you've got to understand that you've got to get additional help to treat the depression. The surgery is going to help you lose weight. People think, well, the depression will go away because I lose weight. Maybe, maybe not, right? So for those who the depression doesn't go away, you got to have some skills. That's where aftercare programs come in handy. Weight loss surgery does not treat life in terms of life keeps happening. Your parents are going to get older. They may get sick. Your kids are going to remain busy. Your spouse might get laid off. You may get laid off. Who knows? But I can guarantee you that life is going to keep happening. And weight loss surgery doesn't prevent that. And if your coping skill for when life happens is food, then these aftercare programs and these support groups are where you learn the skills to deal with those things. I've added the Bari Yoga as one component of the BariAftercare program. But the BariAftercare program is like going to the aftercare program that I went to after I went through treatment, because I needed to learn the skills that when I'm mad at my husband, I'm not going to pop a pill. Or when I'm upset with my mother, I'm not going to drink a beer. Or if you're upset with your boss, you're not going to down a Coke or a cake or, right? Something that ultimately is going to cause you harm. So the BariAftercare program has the exercise and movement component, and it's not just yoga. It's other kinds of activities as well. And then we have a guy. So if you know guys who are in the process of bariatric surgery and afterwards, we have a really amazing guy named Rob D'Amidio. And Rob is, Rob, he's just an amazing guy, and he's really gotten into movement, and he's leading a support group for me for men. And Rob and I are going to do a really fun thing this fall, along with Chef Healthy Henry, who is also part of the BariAftercare team. We're doing a men's retreat. So Rob will be here helping with the movement. Chef Healthy Henry will be here doing the cooking, helping guys learn to cook. And I also do retreats for women. Now, when you hear retreats, some people think, oh, fun and playing games. Well, we do a little bit of that, but we do a lot of deep dive. What's going on that you're struggling to stay engaged in the behaviors you need to maintain that weight loss. We do yoga at the retreats. We do a lot of therapy, but we swim, we go out on the boat, we play, we do a lot of processing of deeper emotions, things that are keeping you stuck in your journey, because we want to move forward in this journey. Do you want me to keep talking? Because I can talk all day.
I think everything you're saying is spot on. They can find all this too, I'm sure, on your website. You just Google Connie, and I can put the link here shortly too. I just want to say, Connie, is there anything that somebody can do now that's listening to help them? What would you say, like when you were going through that, as far as the addiction piece? And I mean, obviously our subject today is yoga, but is there anything that you can say to someone who is either pre-surgery or post-surgery and is struggling with the piece that you're talking about, the food addiction piece?
Yes.
And like, how did you get through that with your own addiction and kind of moving forward? Besides just the support piece, like what can they do today?
Today, they can look up whatever the thing that is hindering them. So if it's emotional eating, Google emotional eating or how to stop emotional eating. If it's food addiction, get online and order Weight Loss Surgery Does Not Treat Food Addiction. Order the book Food Junkies, second edition. It's by a physician who will explain to you about food addiction in a very simplified biological way. And she interviewed me for that book. And so we do talk about bariatric surgery in that book. If your struggle is, I don't know how to set boundaries, get online and learn. How do I set boundaries? How do I say no? If your issue is, I don't have any healthy coping skills, get online and print out a list of healthy coping skills. Probably the best thing you can learn to do is what's called diaphragmatic breathing, breathing from the diaphragm, because it will always slow you down. It will always slow you down. So you may not reach for the unhealthy substance or the unhealthy food or whatever it happens to be. So lay on your bed, Google diaphragmatic breathing. Basically, it's breathing in through your nose and having your belly rise as opposed to your chest. It's deep breathing, getting a lot of oxygen in your belly, and then it's exhaling through your nose even more slowly than you inhaled. So the key to calming yourself through breath is always exhaling longer than you inhale.
And Connie, on Facebook, somebody asked about the two that you just talked about as far as the podcast. And it's Dr. Susan Mitchell's Breaking Down Nutrition. And your podcast is BariAftercare.
Right.
I'm typing those into the chat.
Her podcast is actually not called Breaking Down Nutrition. That's her website.
Okay.
Her podcast is called,
let me look here real quick. I'll go.
It's called Bariatric Surgery Success.
Okay.
Bariatric Surgery Success. And what's great about Susan's podcast is that it's only like 10, 15 minutes. The great thing about mine is that I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give it to you firm. I refer to myself as fair and firm. I've been referred to as Dr. Butt Kicker, but I will do so in a very loving way, because here's one of the things I would tell everybody, regardless of where you are in this process. Nobody can do this for you. Nobody can do any of the things for you. Nobody can exercise for you. Trust me, if they could, I would pay for it, but they can't. Nobody can do this for you, but you can't do it alone. So you have to be willing to reach out and ask other people for help. And that's another very difficult thing for a lot of our patient population. They're willing to give help to others, but it's really hard for a lot of us to ask for help for ourselves. So you've got to be willing to do that. Nobody can do it for you, but you can't do it alone. You need the peer support. and you need professional support. And that may be a therapist, it may be a bariatric coach, it may be a personal trainer. All the sources are available to you. And if you're worried about cost, let me tell you, there is so much free content in the bariatric community online. I know I have tons of articles and tons of videos. I have a YouTube channel. There's so much information that's out there. All the podcasts are free. So, if finances are a concern, don't worry about it because you can get a lot of this stuff online.
Hey, Connie, Kim asked on Facebook, she says, what if you cannot pinpoint your issue? So, what would you suggest for me, what helps me the most whenever I'm like trying to figure something out for myself is journaling. Obviously, you're talking here about reaching out and just getting, seeking professional help. But is there anything else that you can suggest?
Journaling is a great way to figure out what's going on with you, or sitting down and talking to a good friend, because you'll hear yourself talk or you'll read what you've written. And I do want to say that if people have not done any therapy in the past, it's really hard for us to identify our own issues. And you can start with, I don't know what's going on with me. I just know I'm sad. I just know I'm angry. I just know I feel depressed right now. And just start with that and let your mind just go and see where it leads you. But there's a lot of deeper dives into a lot of this stuff, which does require therapy. But a lot of times you can sort through a lot on your own by journaling.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So,
or making a picture collage or drawing out a picture of what's going on with you right now.
And Connie, I don't know if we're quite there yet, but I know we were going to share a couple different simple little exercises. I think we're right here at the quarter to the hour. So stretching, and then I'll have to look at my notes. And there's a question too, not in here, but I am wondering if they will be posted afterwards since this is a recording. I'm trying to think what link she's looking for, but we do post you can access these videos through the recording through the same link. You can also go to our ProCare Health website, to YouTube channel, and they will be posted there within a week, our replays. So I'm not sure. She says there are no links posting in the chat, Brenda. That is what we were talking about. Oh, it's because it's going to, I don't have it on everyone. I'll go back and repost those. Sorry, Connie. I'll let you talk and I'll do that while.
All right. So let's do this. I'll try to get as far back as I can so people can see as well as you can. If you've got high heels on or any kind of heels, take them off. You want to be sitting in a position where your feet can touch the floor. Let's see if I can move this desk back. Hang on, everybody. Just one second. Move my desk back and move my chair back. We'll see how much room we've got here. All right, we should be good. And I may stand to show you some of what I'm doing, but you can be seated to do this. Let me push this down. There we go. Okay, so feet on the floor, hands on your thighs, and just roll your shoulders out. Just, no specific, just kind of settle into your chair here. We're not doing anything major. Just settling and getting into a seated position. You want to make sure both of your sit bones, and your sit bones are those bony little things on the bottom of your bum, both planted in your chair, feet firmly on the floor. Roll your shoulders back. You want to have your spine. Our spine has a natural curve, so we're not trying to straighten out the natural curve, but we want to be sitting up straight. And a good way to always do that with your posture is to roll your shoulders up and just kind of bring your shoulder blades together toward the back of your body. Now, if you're comfortable sitting there with your eyes closed, please close your eyes, but you don't have to, because we're just going to focus in on our breathing for just a minute here. And just breathe naturally. But as you're breathing, pay attention to what's going on with your body. Are you breathing into your chest with some shallow breaths? Can you breathe deeply into your abdomen? You might want to put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and just play around with this for a minute. And if you can get that belly hand to push out with your inhale, then you're diaphragmatically breathing. If your chest is the one pulsating, then you're breathing into your chest. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And when you're ready, count for yourself and count to an inhale of 4, then hold for 2, and exhale for 6. So I'm not going to count for you because it can get real annoying to have somebody counting for you. So inhale to your own count of 4. Hold the breath for 2. And exhale to count 6. And just do that a few cycles. Okay. Hands back on your thighs, wherever you're comfortable. Let's roll the shoulders up and back again because we tend to not know we're slouching, and we do. So we want to be sitting up as straight as possible. We're going to do some breathing with some neck motion. I want you to be cautious with this. We're not going to put our head backwards, all right? Because too many of us have junk in our neck trunk. So we're going to avoid crunching anything behind our neck. So we're going to go, and you're going to start by leaning your head to your left as you inhale, and only go as far. Inhale as is comfortable for you. And let's exhale as we raise. So we're just joining our breath and our body movements. You can do this with your eyes open. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale as you lean your head to your left. And exhale as you come back to center. Inhale as you lean your neck. Try not to tilt your body at all. Just leaning from the neck. No pain, but you're going to feel sensation on the opposite side of your neck. And one more inhale. And exhale up. We'll do that on the other side. Again, let's just go ahead and make sure we've got our good posture here. And we'll inhale and lean your head to your right. I'm trying to turn that one. And that's my left. It should be your right. No? And inhale back to center. And inhale as you lean. And exhale back to center. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now just pay attention. We're not going to do the forward one right now for the sake of time, but just see if you feel like you have any sensation, any pain. And just notice. A lot of this is just noticing your body because a lot of people have tried to avoid their body for a long time. And if you were doing this, you could do the forward chin to chest as well. but I want to show you some other examples. So I'm going to turn my chair to the side, but you don't need to. And I'm going to come toward the edge of my chair. But if sitting in the back of your chair is most comfortable for you, then do that. We're going to do what's called a cat and cow stretch. So I'm going to come a little closer because you can see me plenty good here. So we're going to have a flat back, right? I'm not overextending and I'm not arching. We're going to start with a flat back, hands on your knees. And as we inhale, we are going to arch our back and maybe raise your head toward the ceiling as you inhale. So I'm arching my back. Don't need to hurt your neck. Don't crane it. And then on the exhale, I'm going to move my chin toward my chest and I'm going to bring a big curve to my back. So you're going to exhale, round the spine, and let your head drop forward. I'm going to inhale. And again, I'm going to raise my head, curve my spine, heart shines forward. And I'm going to exhale very slowly, round my back, bring my chin to my chest. And go ahead and do that 2 more times while I'm talking about some of the benefits of this. We have what's called essential spine movements. And the more of these spine movements that we can get into our day, the more flexible we're going to be and the better able we're going to be able to do those things like bend over and tie our shoes and reach behind us and wipe and take a shower and get all of our parts clean. So having the rounding and the stretching of the back, and you're also stretching your shoulders and working a little bit on the neck here. If you feel any pain, then stop. Now we're going to do what's called a forward seated bend. And again, I'm coming to the outer edge of my chair, but you can go wherever you want. Now we're going to be stretching the back. So be very conscientious. This is where you give yourself permission to just do what your body's able to do. We're going to do this in 2 different ways. We're going to keep our back flat because this is going to utilize different parts of our back muscles. So we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bend forward. We're just bending, hinging from the hips. All we're doing is hinging from the hips. You can put your hands on your hips if you want. Your feet can be about hip width apart, or they can be together. Now watch my back. No curving, no bending. I'm just seeing what feels comfortable to me and how far I can go. So I'm going to inhale, and on the exhale, I'm hinging forward. You may hinge forward this far. Others of you may hinge much further. The point here is we're keeping the back straight, and then we inhale as we rise. Now we're going to do that a little bit differently, and we're going to curve the back and just notice the difference and how it feels to you. So we did a straight back. So everybody inhale, and on the exhale, roll over, round your back, and again, hinge at those hips. And if it's possible, drop your arms down by your side, down by your calves, toward the floor. If that's not working for you, keep your hands right on your knees. And then very slowly, what you want to do here is roll up. They say 1 vertebra at a time. Just very slowly roll up as you inhale and bring your head with you. Now, I just want to introduce these, so we're not going to do a full practice here. Now, here's another thing that you may or may not be able to do. Can you clasp your hands? I'm going to stand, but you're still sitting. Can you clasp your hands behind your back? If not, it's okay to just put your hands out toward the back. There's no right or wrong in yoga, and there's no judgment. So, seated, as you fold, now we're going to do the rounded back here. Everybody inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to round our back and lift our arms from the shoulders. This may or may not be possible for you. Just see what you can do. Some of you can go all the way and put your chest on your thighs. And for others of you, this may not work at all. Do what works for you. Your arms may be out. They may be just down here. Just do what you can. Inhale. As you come up. Now, another way to do this when you're at home is if you're standing. I love this. I absolutely love just to do this. I just interlace my hands behind me and just hinge from the waist. Right? Exhale as you go forward. And then if you get better and better and better and better, then you eventually stretch further and further. That is probably one of the best exercises I have found for improving my posture. Other things you can do, it's called eagle arms. Again, flat on your chair. We're going to raise our arms right out in front of us at a 90-degree angle. This may be as far as you go today, and that is great because already we're using the muscles through the side of our back. We're using our shoulders. If it's available to you, your right arm can come under your left. And if it's available to you, you can even fold one more time. So let me show you that. Right arm comes under the left, right? And then maybe you can bring your hands together. All right, Brenda. One arm under the other.
Not sure if I'm doing it quite right, I think.
And bring hands together. Right. Now, whatever you're able to do, let's just bring them once. Let's just bring them once and not complicate it. Raise your shoulders. We don't want to do this, but if that's where you're at, that's fine. If you can raise your shoulders and then slowly bring your chin to your chest. You're really stretching that whole shoulder girdle, really feeling some nice stretching sensation through the back. Let's do it on the other side. Everything in yoga is balanced. So this time, let's bring the left arm under the right. Good. And we'll just hold them there. Or you can flap them around, depending on how much flexibility. Raise. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower your chin to your chest. Inhale as you raise your head. That's called eagle arms. Now there's eagle legs too, but let's not do that today because we are running out of time and I do have an appointment I have to do. We're going to do one more, and this is called figure 4 if you're laying on the floor. We're going to cross. It's also called pigeon, and you can do this standing or seated. We'll do it seated. Again, I'm coming to the edge of my seat. I hated this pose initially. Now it's like my favorite thing to do. You're going to feel this opening your hips and a good hip stretch, which gives us a lot of flexibility. Raise your right knee, if this is possible, on top of your left calf. Now you want your ankle to come so that it's outside of your left calf. And you want your foot flexed, not pointed, flexed. So I want my foot facing straight out in front of me, not pointed to the side of the wall. All right. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take my right hand and just kind of put it on my right knee here. And I'm going to fold forward only as far as you're able to do. So I'm going to inhale straight back and exhale as I fold forward from the hips. Now you're going to feel this in the outside of your right thigh, and use your right hand to keep your leg from popping up like this. Unless it pops up like that, then let it pop up. So folding over, feeling that stretch in the outer right hip, and then we'll switch sides. So left foot comes up, left hand on your left knee. Inhale, and as you exhale, just gently fold over. And you're probably going to feel it differently in each one of your hips because you may be tighter on one side of your body than the other. I'm definitely feeling it more on this side. And then we'll inhale as we come up. So I will give you a link if you want to type it in there, because it's yoga at your desk handout. Yoga at your desk handout.pdf. And it's a great little handout that you can use. Yeah, just like that.
Connie, these exercises are so helpful to me because I feel like I am sitting and like at my desk, and I feel like I guess I've always been one to kind of hold that tension in my neck, my hip area. And I just feel like these were super helpful. I mean, I could really feel those stretches. They felt good.
They do feel good. And you can do this any time of the day without having to take a whole 20 minutes or 30 minutes for a yoga class.
Kim says she could feel it too. She's commenting on our Facebook page. So
good.
I'm pasting that suggested link. I'm wondering if I go to it, you said that basically that's all you have to put in and it should just pop up for people.
It should.
I'm having some problems finding it, but.
Well, let's see. Let's try. And I do have to run because I have a doctor's appointment. Yoga at your desk.
Laura said she felt it more on her right side. I felt it more on my left for whatever reason. But it is interesting because it really, even though it's like one of those things that hurts so good.
If you just Google yoga at your desk, you'll see several articles and several videos.
No, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, anything you want to say in closing? Because I know you need to kind of scoot along. But we appreciate you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you. We've been talking about this for a long time, and I appreciate it so much. People can email me directly, cstapletonphd@gmail.com with questions about whatever. cstapletonphd@gmail.com.
Okay. Is that on your website too, Connie?
I think it is. It is. Yes, it is. Okay. And the website is just conniestapletonphd.com.
Wonderful. Well, Connie's links are in all of our handouts related to these events are always on our website, www.procarenow.com. And we also have more upcoming events that are listed there as well. But the 3 videos that I was talking about that Connie did, they were pre-recorded. The chair yoga, 2 of those, and the mat yoga are all on our website. And also check out our YouTube channel. We have all kinds of videos posted there, including these. The links for those are on the YouTube channel. So subscribe and you kind of keep getting our videos as we're posting them. So Connie, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Brenda.
Each of you for being here.
Thanks, everybody. Brenda, I'm going to sign off. Okay, I got to run.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Love you guys, and everybody take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.